Hi guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today I was going to share with you how I color my texture pastes with these Gelatos by Faber-Castell. Okay, so here's the deal with the Gelatos. I bought these before I started making junk journals. I bought them for Bible journaling. And I have a bunch of colors, and I honestly never really enjoyed using them in my Bible. I never could quite grasp or get the hang of the techniques that I saw other people doing. And they just kind of sat, right? And they've been sitting ever since. And I was cleaning out the room where I have kind of my like overflow craft supplies. And I found them and I was like, they're not cheap. And I'm like, I spent money on these things. And honestly, most of them I've never even opened up. So I'm like, I have to find a use for these. So I started doing some research or looking on YouTube to find, what can I do with them that, is different than what I know. And I found some videos on coloring texture paste and other, mediums with the Gelatos. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's a good way to use them up, right? And then also to, color, because, it's white, or I haven't tried it with the transparent, but we're going to today. I'm like, okay, cool. So I did that in the journal that I made for Debbie. And yeah, I thought I would just share it with you. I hope that it's helpful to someone or a couple people. Either way, okay, so that's the story behind the Gelatos. So the stencil that I'm going to use today is from In Love Arts, and I will put a link to the shop and to the specific listing where I found this stencil. And there's also a 15% coupon code in the description box as well. And then these papers were in a writing kit also from In Love Arts, but that is no longer in stock, unfortunately. It had a lot of awesome stuff in it, but I'm just going to use the papers because I've already coffee dyed them. So they're already kind of, splattered, which sort of matches the stencil. But I thought maybe we would add some of, the stenciling, some texture to the fronts. I don't know. This might not be, this might not work out the way I think it's going to, but the major purpose here is to show you how how I colored the texture paste. Does that make sense? All right, so let's do that first. Super easy. Let's do the opaque matte first. And this color is Gold Champagne, so it should be sort of like shimmery. And all I did was, I found these palette knives at a thrift store. I was quite blown away when I found them. I think I'm gonna use one of the skinnier ones because this stencil has a lot of bits and pieces. I'm just gonna do a little bit of it at a time. And I'm going to put it right on my glass mat here. And I'm going to zoom you in real quick. Okay, so once I have the texture paste here, probably should have done this first, but it doesn't matter. I'll just use it different. So this stuff rolls up just like lipstick, right? And you can roll it back down. So I'm going to get a decent sized piece here. And I'm just going to chop it off, hopefully, there we go, with the palette knife. And when I did it before, I didn't worry too much about having like chunks because it kind of just creates an interesting, difference in color. You get some like darker spots and some lighter spots. And I'm basically just smushing it all together here. And you can see that it is turning a nice sort of brown color. And the glass mat is perfect, but if you don't have a glass mat, you know, you could do this on, you know, anything you have, a piece of scrap cardboard or, you know, oh, I'm trying to think, like a silicone baking mat, if you have that, or just a plate, it'll wash off fine. Yeah, whatever works. So there we go. We've got kind of a nice blended color there. Just making sure that there's some white. Make sure I get all of that mixed in. And like I said, I'm not worried because there are some, like, I don't know if it'll show up at all. Yeah, still a little bit of white there on my knife. And like I said, I found this on YouTube and I watched a bunch of different videos, and I apologize. I was not feeling well that day, and I didn't even think to write down the names of the different channels. So I apologize. But yeah, this was not something I came up with on my own. And I am not the only one to do it, I'm sure. Okay, there we go. So we'll get all of that kind of back in a pile here. And then all I did was, let's just decide what we want to use here. Let's do like a nice, you know, cup, like, you know, mark, like right in the middle maybe. So what I'm gonna do, I don't want to get anything but that. I'm kind of thinking about cutting it out, but that seems like probably not a great idea. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna tear off some paper here. And this will also help hold my stencil in place. Let's see. There we go. I'm gonna use some washi tape to hold everything down. So first I'm gonna put it up on the top just to hold the stencil. And then this will hold the paper down and, you know, the part that I don't want to stencil here. I'm putting some down at the bottom, but unfortunately I have you zoomed in, so you probably can't see that too well. All right, that's probably good. All right, and then we're just gonna, and I think I have enough space here that I won't get those other stencil pieces in. They won't be in the way. That's the word I'm looking for. I hope you're all having a good day. So yeah, I just, you know, I'm sort of a mess when I'm crafting, so just sort of scrape off the excess, so, you know, because that can all be used, right? There we go. Now we will carefully lift up our stencil, and there we have a nice textured little blotch, right? And then we can do some more. I think what I'll do, I'm gonna set this aside to dry for a few minutes, and we'll do some on this paper. Let's see. I think I wanna do, let me lift this up. Let's do, these, I like these splotches down at the bottom, like it dripped, right? So let's do this. And all right. Sorry, I get quiet when I'm concentrating apparently. And I made a mess, but that's okay. You see here, I think some of that's off the stencil. Not a whole lot, so I think it'll be okay. All right, and then we will just carefully there. That's pretty cool. See? And I just made a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. And we can just kind of lift that off of there anyway. That's pretty cool. And it's got a nice texture. So let me clean up a bit here just for a minute. I don't want to end up with, you know, a huge mess, right? Which is sort of hysterical because that's just kind of what I do, is make a mess. I'm gonna just sit this down and try and wipe off most of this because I want to try the translucent texture paste. I want to see what that does. With the gelato, because I have not actually tried that yet. And I know I have a lot left here, but let's see, maybe we can use that up real quick. Let me grab, I think just one will be fine. I just have some coffee dyed tags, so we don't waste all of this. What I'm going to do is just grab some, and I'm just going to kind of make a mess is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of add it to the corner here. And then later on down the road, I can do something with this. Maybe make it, you know, sort of a mixed media thing. We'll see. It might just go in the garbage. I don't know. You know, we're just playing. I just got out too much texture paste and I don't want to waste it. So maybe there's a chance that I'll be able to do something with this later. Like that. Add a little bit up here. And we'll see. Who knows? Maybe this will be some fabulous, you know, accident. Or it could just, like I said, end up in the trash. That's always a possibility. All right, that's good enough. We'll get rid of the rest. So yeah, so what I did, just, you know, sort of splooshed it on all over, and then that'll dry and it'll have, you know, just a nice little texture. Just clean up the corners a little bit here. Okay, all right, let's set that aside and grab another baby wipe here and just wipe off my palette knife. I think I'll use a different one. Well, that probably doesn't matter. We'll just use that one. Why dirty it up, right? All right, let's see if I can clean this up. See how the glass mat, it's so awesome. It's great for someone like me who is a mess, but I don't like cleaning up, so, right? Okay, good enough. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. I do want to make sure that this is fairly clean before I put it into my container of transparent texture paste. I have never even used this one. Look at that. All right, I don't want too much, just a little bit. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing. Oh, look at that. I put that way over to the side, so you're not gonna be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so we will get a bit off of here. There we go. And I don't know if this will work with the, I'm guessing, I don't know why it would be any different. I'm curious about the, how it will kind of color, right? So just smooshing that together. I'm hoping it'll be just more of like, oh, like more of a translucent color. It's definitely a different, already looks different. But who knows, once it dries, it might not be all that different. We'll see. So here's what it looks like. Looks sort of gross in that color. Sorry about that. But it's, you know, my stencil is sort of a, you know, coffee splotch. And this was the closest color I have to, you know, coffee. All right. All right, let's go ahead. That smells minty. Yeah, that smells like mint. That is so funny. Am I the only one who notices that? Probably. All right, so this is not totally dry, so we'll just be careful. Let's do like a big splotch up in the corner here. And I just want to get it so you can see, but also I want to be careful. Let's see. Let's do this one instead. How about that? That might be better. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do this splotchy piece here. Get another, kind of hold this down here. Like that. All right, I think we're good. So let's see what happens. I am going to tuck a piece of paper here because I foresee that I will probably go over the edge. So yeah, all right, I think we're good. This is sort of horrible consistency and color. So sorry. The opaque didn't look like this. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to say what it looks like, but any of you that have children can probably take a guess at what I'm thinking right now. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's sort of a very yucky color. Okay. There. There we go. So if you can see right now, while it's wet, it's shinier than the matte, but not a whole lot of difference color-wise. So we'll see what happens when it dries. Let's do one more. Let's see here. Let's do one more and try to clean this off a bit. Oh, I'm such a hot mess. All right. Let's do this sploochy bit. Is that a word? Sploochy? I don't know. It is now. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. And we need to hold our paper down. here. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. I've got a mess to clean up once I'm done here. That's what I've got. All right, there we go. So I will wait for these to dry, and then I will come back and show you the finished results. All right, guys, I hope that if nothing else, you got a good laugh out of the disgusting color I chose for this project. I am so sorry. It really is horrible, isn't it? Oh, let's get that off of here because that's just gross. All right. I think you know what I was going for, right? I hope. You know, it is what it is. I don't know what else to say. All right, guys. Yep, I'll be back in a few, well, for you, it'll just be a couple minutes. But once this dries, I will add a little bit to the end of this video so you can see the finished results. Okay, so our texture paste has dried, at least mostly, and I think you can tell a difference. So this is the translucent, and you definitely get more of the shimmer from the gelato. Hopefully that's showing up, and it's a little bit, I don't know, it's just a different type of texture. And then this is the regular opaque matte, and it's just more of a dull, you know, kind of just a brownish, goldish color. Hopefully that's showing up. So here again, this is the translucent, and it did also sort of like bleed out a little bit, like it was more wet. And then this is the just regular opaque matte. So I hope that that was helpful, guys. Hopefully, you know, if you've had some gelatos sitting around, it gave you some ideas of what to do with them. I was very happy to figure that out because otherwise they were just gonna sit and or end up in the garbage, and that's no fun. So yeah, guys, if you like this, please give the video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have other ideas for using gelatos, or, you know, if anything I did was awkward or wrong and there's a better way to do it. I love to hear tips and tricks from you guys. All right, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.